conversation with my boss.
Hello, and welcome to Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9002. I am your host, of course, SneakyDevil, and this is going to be a long night.
What, I don't even get an introduction before you start complaining?
No, you don't get an introduction. Because you guys complained all the time about how I introduced you as, of course, blank and blank are here, because of course you're always here. So, yeah, you don't get an introduction anymore. How do you feel about that?
I don't recall complaining about that, but I don't recall a lot of things, so...
I think it was mostly Max complaining about it, and you were just like, yeah!
Eh. Oh my god, I'm not buying Metro Exodus, the Epic Games Switch. Stop giving me ads.
Oh, apparently, according to the reviews, Metro Exodus is bad.
By the way, you still have the overlay up.
Oh, I'm aware.
Okay, just wanted to make sure you knew.
Just trying to see what fic we're gonna cover today and start with. How about Familiar of Zero Mass Effect?
Hey, how am I coming in, by the way?
Oh, you're going in fine.
Okay, alright. Just checking.
Unacceptable.
I actually said Mass Effect Familiar Zero.
Yeah, Mass Effect Familiar Zero.
What? Side note, Sneaky, I'm playing Total War Warhammer 2 just while nothing important's going on.
Nah.
I have no idea what the fuck is happening in the old world.
Yeah, dude, when you're playing in the new world, the old world gets weird very quickly.
The pirates of Sartosa have taken over all of Britannia.
Yep. Yeah, no, like I said, it gets weird.
And apparently they kicked the shit out of the Red Duke to do it.
But that is neither here nor there. Alright. I'm going to change the sim count. What should it be for tonight?
Vodka. The sin count should be vodka.
Oh no, I plugged it up. Nah. That makes it worse. Okay, so as I was saying, this is a Familiar of Zero Mass Effect crossover. Ones and zeros.
Ooh, look at me, I've got an original title.
Yeah, well, at least it wasn't like The Familiar of Mass or Luis Effect or.
You know what? You're right. I'll give them credit for that.
There's far worse names they could have used. Apparently people are sleeping tonight. Luis's summoning ritual does not go as planned. That was pretty much to be expected. What she didn't expect, however, was to summon Geth, the very specific Geth platform to be exact. Now stuck with 8,000 programs as her familiar, her future may be quite different indeed. What will come of this unexpected event? Well, probably not much, considering the fact that unless the author Deus Ex fiats the fact that Legion can now run off of magic, he's gonna lose power pretty quickly.
I mean, I'm sure he could jury rig some soul.
Well, I mean, they require these super, volatile Geth hubs to charge up platforms at.
True.
And that the more volatile a battery is, the more energy it can hold. So, I mean, I'm not saying the geth are the same in terms of power consumption or expenditure or storage. It's just if the geth hub explodes that much, then there needs to be a need for having that much energy in it, which means either the geth, consume energy pretty quickly, or their batteries are big, or
Right.
yeah. But anyway, hello everyone. So to start off, I would like to notify you, the reader, that I have no idea what I am doing. Although that may be extreme, more specifically, I am only familiar with Mass Effect, and my entire knowledge of Familiar Zero comes directly from reading crossovers like Overlady and Twisted Reflections and Herald of the Void. And that was years ago. As such, my knowledge of Ruby, Jesus. Familiar Zero is patchy at best. So use a wiki. Read Familiar Zero.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know his story isn't going to get that far. So I mean, read the first volume. You can find it everywhere for free. Uh, you know, it's not going to take you more than maybe a day at most, maybe a couple hours.
Kind of slow ass readers are they?
I mean, I expect them to be slow, considering
Yeah.
the fact that they don't even have the brain cells to rub together to comprehend the fact that maybe they should check the wiki for information
Fair.
instead of relying on what they saw in another fanfiction. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Now that you know, please excuse all errors I make.
Oh boy, I wish that worked on my tests in college. Hey, professor, I got no idea what I'm doing. Please excuse my
Excuse me,
errors.
Professor, I didn't study at all, so just any errors I make on this test, just ignore them.
That's cool, right, bro?
Oh, let's get into it. Wow. What a
What?
way to start off this fucking story. Lucy was feeling decidedly nervous right about now. Yes, that is correct. The author didn't even get the main character's name right.
No, secretly this is a supercross with fairy tale.
Ah, yes, of course. No, scratch that. Nervous was not nearly a strong enough word. Terrified. I'm already sleepy. Terrified would be much closer to the truth. It would have been a lot more bearable, she thought, then why is it not italicized? If it weren't for the fact that her magic had a very nasty habit of exploding, which it was definitely not meant to be doing. Well, I mean, that's dependable on the definitions of what magic is and is not supposed to do. If you want the magic to make you float and instead it just explodes, then I suppose you could say your magic is not meant to explode, but it's still energy. Like,
Yeah.
that fireball was supposed to just light the fire, not burn down the house. Well, it is fire still. Anyway, blah blah blah, good results and theoretical blah blah, she hated to admit that fact. Now, however, she was in the middle of the springtime summoning ritual. This was important. She could not afford to screw this up. If she failed this, she would probably be expelled the week within the week. Just a little side note. I do typically. What the fuck was that?
That was me.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I do typically dislike when authors have their characters thinking in slang that doesn't exist. Like, in their world. Like,
Yes.
I'm going to screw this up. That slang would not exist in a medieval fantasy. Do they even have screws at that point? I don't think so. Just like nails. Yeah. So, yeah, anyway. Point being is that...
Wow, it's an old fucking word.
Is it?
Yeah.
How old?
Like old Latin, scrofa, to old French, escrew, female screw, nut.
I assume screw.
Damn French.
Really?
Early sense was contort, twist around, 16th century.
I screw this up.
What the fuck, Latin?
I suppose
What the
the slang.
Fuck Latin.
Okay, alright, I retract my statement then.
No, Sneaky, there's also another thing. Thumb screws were a thing back then.
That's true. You would put the screws on someone.
That's true enough.
Or put the screws to someone. Either way, you would use thumb screws on them. For people who don't know what thumb screws are, lucky you.
Man, Humanity's really fucked up.
Fair enough. Oh, wait, who fucked up?
Humanity is just really fucked up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the humanity. Anyway, So
why did someone think this was a good idea?
Think what was a good idea?
This story.
I don't know, but this is the story in which the author started off the story by saying they had no idea what they were doing, and that all of their knowledge of Familiar of Zero comes from crossovers between Dark Souls and Overlord. Because apparently reading the source material or looking at the wiki is too much for them. And then they said it gets even better, because then they said, now that you know what my knowledge base is, please forgive any fuck ups I make. And it's just like, no, I won't.
We're like, boy, if only that worked in college.
Yeah, then they started off the actual story by misspelling Luis's name.
She's Lucy now.
Yeah. I see they are a great fan of the JDF method. Yes.
Let's not talk about.
Twisted Reflections. Oh boy.
Yeah, remember that story?
I occasionally, it's like, oh hey, it updated. I guess I'll look at the new chapter real quick. And alright, yeah, still going. Okay. Good for you, author. You have not shit the bed on this so far.
Somehow.
Dangerously close, but not there. To be fair, Atin, like, Sneaky knows this of me. I'll say this to almost anyone, even the most competent people I know. Congratulations, you haven't fucked up yet.
Well, not so much as he hasn't fucked up, because he definitely fucked up quite a bit with Twisted Reflections. It's just, he hasn't let that slow him down.
Yeah, like, I expect everyone to be capable of screwing something up in a spectacular fashion. That might actually be why I can enjoy things that people consider bad.
There was already a bunch of animals around. Familiar summoned a dragon. How is she supposed to compete with that? She's Luis the Zero. Everyone laughs at her. She has unstable magic. See, now that's another thing I never really got. Like, no matter how you frame it. Oh, yeah, her magic explodes when she casts spells. Let's make fun of her. Sure, that won't backfire on us.
I mean, if it's the kind of thing where she's incapable of aiming it because of the explosion, I can kind of get it.
No, she's decent at aiming.
She actually is shown to be able to aim it. It's just, here's the thing. With the way the world is built, it makes sense for people to make fun of this and for her not to be insane because she is big on restoring honor. She doesn't want to be the fuck up that brings shame to the Valley of her name by going full psycho.
Yes, but the problem still remains in the chain of logic of, hey, that person makes everything violently explode and does massive collateral damage every single time she casts spells. Let's go make fun of her.
I think I just want to point out, studies have proven that the logic part, the logic center of our brain isn't fully developed until early to mid-20s usually.
Okay.
Just keep that in mind. Sneaky, there's a lot of stupid shit humans do when they are in their teens and tweens, and when asked why'd you do that, when they say I don't know, they're being serious.
I am aware. I have done countless dumb things.
Yeah, okay.
And I go,
now, Sneaky,
why the fuck did I do that?
Yeah, now Sneaky, take that logicless version of you, put it in a magical world where you have access to this.
Okay, yeah, but
I could totally
the
see kids
the
doing
problem
this
still remains. The problem still remains.
Okay, I just want to point out the teachers didn't do this. One, because they're better people than they were. But two, because their logic process is, okay, we can help this kid, but we probably should make sure she's not going to point this at the wrong fucking noble.
Well, I mean, yes, but I mean, not only that, like, it's just like, it's one thing to be like, oh, let's go make fun of this kid because their spells are super weak, or they have a hard time casting even the simplest thing, or etc. Or they can't hit shit, or every spell they cast, it's always the wrong spell somehow. Well, I can get all of that. I can absolutely go, okay, yeah, I can understand why kids would be like, haha, you're stupid and dumb. I get that. But if you're all at a targeting range, and everyone's got guns, except this one person just brings in an RPG one day, and just starts firing rocket after rocket off, but they can't hit shit, and everything's just exploding. Is anyone really gonna go up to that person and be like, ha ha ha, you can't hit anything? Really?
I mean, you're aware you live in America, right? Do you really want to commit to this analogy?
Yes, I will commit to this analogy.
There is going to be one person, Sneaky, that goes up and starts laughing in their face.
I mean,
there's going to be
Chicago.
one person.
It's not one person. It's like 100.
You know what? You're right. I should have pointed at all of Chicago as the counterpoint.
Listen, we've reached the point in Chicago where it's like, I got a gun. And?
No.
Oh, Sneaky, no.
Okay, just the scale model.
You gotta get yourself on a list, Sneaky.
Wait, eBay, why did you autocomplete that search?
Yeah, those are all scale.
I'm waiting just to scroll down and just eventually get to the point where it's literally just an RPG.
I mean, I think right now, currently, the most dangerous weapon a civilian can own in the United States is a mini.
I mean, without licenses, without any form of license, the most dangerous weapon a civilian can own is a Anzio 20mm anti-tank rifle. Without any license.
I don't think you actually need a license for the minigun because they were grandfathered in under. There's only 3 of them in sale for sale, and they're all grandfathered in.
Okay, well, I'm talking about mass production.
Then yes.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can buy grenade launchers. Google
I mean, you might be able to buy something like a China Lake, but...
Isn't there, like, some sort of proviso of, like, any explosive over this specific weight you cannot legally own or some shit?
Huh! Interesting. Is it for sale?
Well, yeah, like, because as dangerous as a China Lake, while it is still a grenade launcher, it's a relatively weak, like, can't fire, you can only fire one at a time, it's not the most reliable, it doesn't go super far. It's not like buying, oh shit, what was the one made in South Africa? It has, like, a revolving cylinder. No, you can't buy one of those.
What?
Can you buy grenade launchers in America? Officials have dictated that a grenade launcher is considered a destructive device and therefore falls under the National Firearms Act. As long as you can get the ATF permit and pay the $200 tax, you can own one. America!
So it literally comes down to what state do you live in?
Oh my god. That's
good old America.
As long as you pay the $200 tax on your grenade launcher, you can own one. God damn it.
But does it specify what kind?
Well, we have quite a few. Underbarrels. Hey! There's the RPG I was looking for.
So I decide just on a whim, like, wait,
no,
what
Sneaky,
the...
that's a training kit, though. Hold on, click.
Yeah,
click
that's
on
a trainer
that.
device.
What's a training kit?
What is a training kit?
Like, is it just dummy rounds, or?
So,
RPG.
I'm like...
Okay.
As is, no refunds.
Bipod assembly, cleaner. Why does it come with 7.62?
Wait. Did they just convert an RPG launcher into a rifle?
Click for the video of how to set it up and fire it.
Does Twitch allow this? Will we get banned?
Might get banned if we do this. Also, I decided to look up grenade launcher for sale, and the thing that pops up, Shopzilla, Shop Sports and Outdeer Gear.
I mean, it's completely legal, and it's not like we're advocating it. It's like, oh, you gotta go get a permit, you have to go pay your taxes, and it's dependent on the state you're in.
Hey kid, did you pay your grenade launcher tax?
Okay. Alright, he's wheeling it out. I like that it comes with wheels, thank you.
Has a bipod. Why it has a bipod, I'm not sure.
I'm telling you this, I think that they converted this into a rifle, I think. Like, actually.
Oh my, did they really? Oh my god, I think they did!
That's the only reason I can think of for having a bipod attachment for an RPG. Unless... I don't think bipods aren't standard issue.
Okay.
Oh, RPGs,
it's a... Oh, okay, I understand. Okay, so what it is it uses 7.62 tracer rounds to give you an idea of where the grenade will go when you fire it.
Okay, so the bare bones of bare bones for training kit. Okay. How do you get used to the backblast, though?
I mean, it's a 7.62 round.
No, but he's talking about the backblast. Like,
I'm aware.
Like, I understand that 7.62 is gonna kick, but
I mean, that's probably the best you can get. Anyway.
The only thing that can make this better is if they actually put a sound chip in there so it makes the noise.
Anyway, yeah. So, how about that wholesome legal shit? Thank you, America.
I'm not gonna lie. What? Huh? Wait, what the fuck is this?
What's what?
Oh, okay. I was just really confused because, like, an Amazon link popped up for the grenade launcher search. And
Yes.
I'm like, wait, what?
Amazon sells grenade launchers?
Oh, no, I forgot airsoft is a thing.
Yes. That's
Detonating Claymore mine for airsoft. What the fuck, airsoft? This isn't even airsoft. This is for Nerf.
How do we get into buying grenade launchers? Okay, so basically the analogy I was using is that Luis causes massive collateral damage explosions every single time she casts spells, and I thought it was really nonsense for kids to pick on her for that, because all she needs to do is cast a spell at them, and then they're paced. And so I was pressing X to doubt the survival instincts.
And we were saying, look at things in America. People would absolutely.
And then I used an analogy about everyone's at a firing range with rifles and crap, and then someone shows up with an RPG and just starts firing it. And I said, well, you wouldn't make fun of that person. And then Max is like, well, no, people probably would. And then I had agreed with him. But anyway.
And then we went to see if you could buy grenade launchers. And from there we went to see if you could buy RPGs.
Indeed.
To which I am pleased to report you cannot buy an RPG.
But I mean, you probably can. You probably just have to search a little bit harder. Meanwhile, in the depths of the Perseus Vale, all was quiet in the vast fleets of the Geth. Of course, given how little atmosphere there actually was within your average Geth vessel, perhaps that would not come as a surprise. And blah blah blah.
Why they had atmosphere to begin with. They don't need to breathe.
Probably just the leftover atmosphere from loading platforms on a planet.
I guess. And for that matter, I don't understand why they had artificial gravity. Like, surely, like, the overwhelming majority of the Geth will spend their time in storage racks, and the ones that are necessary for shipboard maintenance, just give them boosters.
Yeah. Don't know. Something, Quarian creators, something.
Eh.
Anyway, blah 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 blah. Legion found it off-putting. After several years searching for and then helping Commander Shepard, they had gotten used to the noise. The whole searching part was blah blah about the true cause of the problem, but rather the time spent with Shepard and blah blah blah, old machines, blah blah blah, soft humming of ventilation systems, blah blah blah. Why is there a ventilation system?
I mean, I could understand there may be areas where they need to take heat away from.
That's I suppose maybe.
And if technically, if it doesn't matter where you vent that waste heat, as long as you just vent it away, distributing it throughout the ship would probably be safer than having vent space.
Just build a vent directly into space.
Yeah.
Make it lead straight to the core reactor.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Of course, obviously, you have to make the vent large enough for a proton torpedo to fit down.
Yeah.
Glad we cleared that up. Blah 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 blah. Communicating with Geth was dull because Geth are Geth. Legion was not bored, or if they were bored, they didn't know how to be bored. Geth did not have feelings.
Yes, Sneaky, hold up. This'll make you happy.
Oh?
So you know the chick who joined ISIS and was asking come home?
Yeah.
The British Home Office revoked her citizenship. I'll
Good.
just leave that in.
Geth never really conversed much, blah blah blah. They never had feelings. Confusion was an exception. That was one emotion they were familiar with due to organic races. Blah 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 blah.
They did have emotions though. Like they were capable of being hurt and angry. Like not often, but they could.
Yes, but you see that, and the author doesn't know shit.
Uh-huh.
Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Communicating as a synthetic was so much faster. Briefly, Legion considered reverting to their original designation, Geth. When they rejoined the collective, the new designation caused confusion. It had taken nanoseconds to clarify. The idea was discarded. The potential benefits of keeping the designation readily available outweighed the potential benefits of making it a secondary one. What? The author is trying to write how a computer would think, except I don't think they even know how they would think.
Uh-huh.
Blah blah, it was an individual designation, blah blah blah, they would remain Legion, blah blah, data flow. My servant that exists, oh, the person's hearing the call, blah 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 blah, data words, data words, it was slow words, blah blah, organic words. It's a very anomalous anomaly, data words, data words. Queries, platforms, data with words, cyber defenses, data words. Blah blah, blah blah. Lack of delivery method indicated it was clearly harmless then. I am 1,000 machines inside a single platform. I am currently hearing organic words inside my processing device with an unknown delivery method, but it's probably harmless. Okay. Good morning, Calvin.
Morning, Calvin. I mean, even if the words are spooky, what can the words do to you?
Well, I would be more concerned about the delivery method than what's being said.
That's
okay.
Data, words, data. What?
I'm sorry. Well, I've been listening to this shit while eating my own dinner, and learning that the Geth apparently don't need to breathe. They don't need to have much use of gravity. I'm sitting here like, wow, I can design a pretty baller ship around the idea of get past my Geth and lack of atmosphere for boarding parties.
Yes.
Just make a command cube.
Indeed. Oh, also, because they're intelligent, they don't have any, holes, windows on their ship.
Yeah, no, I'm just there like, if I just pick a command cube and then start building a small, like, battleship around it, I'll be completely safe.
Because they're like, the Geth are literally like, why the fuck would we have a window?
Yeah, it's like, I don't need windows, I just need cameras. That's it.
But windows are so nifty.
that would honestly be interesting.
Humans.
Like, just this fucking organic comes up. It's like, all right, guys, I got a design. I want to hire you. Wait, you don't want windows? God, no. Why would I want windows? It's an easy fucking in. You intrigue us, organic. Tell us more.
I want everything to be windows.
Oh god.
Calvin, Geth are basically flashlights with a face of a flashlight and bodies that carry guns.
Oh, and they're really not too keen on human beings.
They don't like organics until around season 2.
To be fair, that involves one organic being super cool.
Consensus was achieved. They would investigate the green singularity. Data, 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 words, 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 data, words. Collective, Geth collective, data burst, words. Anomaly, data. Back in Halgankia, Nina. In retrospect, she should have seen this coming. Sure, everything started well enough, and then it all exploded. She was nothing, a zero. And they would never stop calling her that. Because her magic exploded. And a green flash shot out with every bit of speed of your average ray of light. And it was quickly followed by sprays of dirt, in which in turn carried a powerful shockwave that sent more than a few people, Luis included, stumbling or in some cases outright falling backwards onto the grass.
I just realized something.
Hmm?
How is any of the normal bullshit going? Can't bind a Geth.
Why not?
Can't give it language.
Why not?
It's a robot. How are you gonna bind the robot?
Oh, well, you see, fuck you.
You can't kiss a robot.
Yes, you can.
I mean, you can, but the robot doesn't have to care.
Never played it. I think I heard the computer is voiced by Battlestar Galactica.
Wait.
Yeah?
Yeah, how did the binding contract work?
What do you mean?
We're gonna see.
Well, no, like, we saw what it was for humans, but they implied that it was different for animals.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good question, because I'm fairly certain... maybe they do kiss the animal.
I guess.
I mean, no one saw anything weird about the fact that Luis was kissing the person that she supposedly summoned. So I can only assume...
the only weird thing was that they had was like, holy shit, she hired a peasant. Wow, she's really committing to this.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't even weird that she quote unquote summoned a person. Everyone was just like, wow, she hired a person to come and act like she summoned them. Like, that wasn't even the weird part. The weird part to them was the fact that she hired someone.
Yeah. Boy, actually, we should get back to our Dark Souls story eventually.
Yes, I
think it'll be interesting to see the bit of, like, she summoned a golem and hired 2 peasants. Wow.
I don't think looking at Valkyrie you would think peasant.
No, they'd still think peasant, Sneaky. She's wearing rags, for Christ's sake.
Well, a very eccentric peasant then. She's also got holy beads, a big-ass sword, Logan's hat.
Yeah, and the golem pops its head off, revealing another peasant underneath. Haha! Joke's on you.
You thought I was a golem, Pop! Haha! I am actually a peasant! Inside a golem!
Alright, I went to the bathroom. What on earth did I miss?
Sneaky and I just doing stupid brainstorming for a Dark Souls story that's probably dead at this point.
It's only as dead as you want it to be.
Exactly, Max.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd like it to be done. I'd like your chapter to be done.
I would like you to help me with my chapter, but you're just like, nah, I never have time for that. Like, okay, well.
I work!
Yeah,
God damn it.
Not my problem.
I mean, it kind of is your problem.
I mean, it is my problem, but...
It's more
also,
of
that heretical... we got a heresy going on in our frickin' chat right now. Someone's using commas instead of frickin' periods to denote a decimal place. Frickin' heresy.
We can forgive Calvin. He's the only pure one in this chat. I think we can give him some slack.
Frickin' Europeans, man.
Sneaky, do you want to drive away the one person that isn't a damn degenerate?
I can be driven away from that. He's just a heretic. How's that Skyrim shitpost doing? Literally dead. Literally, after the first, 20 people looked at it, never got a single person looking at it again.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Is that I need to know, do you think that's because, it just looked bad from the summary, or because Volume 6 really killed the fanfiction community?
I think it really killed the fanfiction. Honestly, I think it killed the fanfiction community because, the summary was fine. The summary wasn't memey. The title wasn't memey. I mean, sure, the picture was Todd Howard's face, but you don't even see that when you're on mobile, which is what a lot of people view it with.
Yeah. I love these reviews, by the way. Your 4 reviews.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just one guy that had the same reaction that me and Atin had. Well, alright then. That's it. Okay.
I suppose this is a thing.
I like the fake IGN. Now this is a masterpiece. 8 out of 10, too much water. IGN. One person asking, did you buy Skyrim? Because I don't know if that's meant to be sarcastic.
I think it's supposed to be like, oh, did you buy Skyrim and that's why you're writing this? It's like, no, not really. Also, somehow, the February breakdown for our story, Unique Views, Two-Step Goodbye still has more unique views than Responding Isn't That Awesome.
Fuck off.
That's probably because it's Naruto. So you're still not allowed to feel good about yourself because it's in the Naruto section. And also, you have so many more favorites on there. A lot of people don't favorite and follow; they just favorite and pop back from time to time.
We have 712 alerts now. Oof.
I feel bad for those new people.
153 total views for Sweet Sweet Lies.
I'll be honest, 153 is better than I thought it would ever get.
That's lower than I thought it'd get. In all honesty, that is way lower than I thought it would get. Wow.
Mhm. I'm really certain the
Oof.
It is. Oof. It's a very dead section, I guess, these days. Who the fuck doesn't favorite and follow? I don't know, man. You're an American.
Lots of people.
You're an American. Can you tell us more details about the big panic back concerning the War of the World radio play? That was actually Canada, I believe, wasn't it?
No, that was here in the States.
No, that was very much here. So,
yeah.
So Pedro, basically what happened was
Calvin.
It's Calvin.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. I looked at Pedro saying, wasn't that the one that caused a mass panic?
Yeah. Right. So keep in mind, Calvin, that at the time radio was still fairly new and people used it for news.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the thing. Its main thing was for news, and lots of news stations were like, we need something to fill the airtime during the news.
Well, not only that, they didn't start the segment with any preamble of like, oh, this is a story.
No,
this is.
The issue is, Sneaky, they did.
They did.
It went so long.
They preambled.
People would tune in during the middle of it.
Yeah, that's what happened.
From what I was given to understand from my brother, it was so long, it ran into the normal news time. So people tuned in, they missed the disclaimer, and it was on during the normal news time. And because it was the radio and smartphones and stuff like that didn't exist, people had no way to tune in and go, what the fuck's going on in New York?
Right. Yeah. I mean, because the reason why I said that was because I've listened to the full broadcast before, and I guess they just didn't include the disclaimer right at the start. Because from what I remember, the broadcast straight up starts off with like alert, this is not a drill, nuclear device set off and blah blah blah, or whatever the fuck it was. Like,
I think that's because I think that was also a line in the book.
Yeah.
So anyone that tuned in at that point was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah. But so it was just a series of unfortunate coincidences that could literally never happen today.
Yeah, no, it would be nearly impossible to
set that kind
something
of thing
like
up.
that happen again. Yeah.
Like, here's the thing: if that's actually happening on the news, it probably is happening in this day and age.
Quick, start sneezing on the aliens. What? Ew, what the fuck? Stop it. Ew. They just leave because they're germ. It doesn't actually do anything to them. They're just disgusted.
Yeah, they're just germophobic.
Cease your spraying of fluids, humans! Anyway, so, the glow is increasing, and, it's a vortex, and then it poofs out, and then everyone's like, lol. And then, there's dirt everywhere. It wasn't as bad as she expected, and sure, the spell left a crater in the grass, and she obviously hadn't summoned anything as large as she hoped for, but there was something in the crater. She hadn't failed, and then, her smile disappeared. She had no idea what she summoned. What was that thing? It looked like a golem. It seemed to be made of metal, but she couldn't tell which kind, and seemed humanoid, though it was far from human. A white glow flowed forward from the end of a curved metallic neck. Blah blah, armored torso. It's a gaff being described by a medieval person, somewhat.
Yeah. On the bright side, though, I would just look at this and be like, "What kind of fucked up golem did you just summon, kid?" I swear to God, if they still crack a peasant joke, I'm just gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Observing the notable damage, she was somewhat worried. She ended up summoning a broken golem. What is that? It's a golem. Oh my god. Oh. What is that? One asked. Semicolon. Looks like a golem, comma, another replied, semicolon. She can't do anything right, a third said. Period. Only the zero would summon a broken golem. End quote, comma, another one mocked, period.
I guess I just shouldn't even be surprised. I guess the assumption is, well, golem is a magic in this world, so this would be stupid or side.
What were you expecting them to say?
I don't know. I really don't. Actually, for that matter, why would what I would assume this to have been like, oh, a metal element golem. Wow, that's kind of weird.
Intense?
Why would you assume that's broken?
That's metal as fuck.
Literally.
Okay, but Legion has a giant hole. Legion has a giant hole in his chest from where he got shot with a 50 caliber equivalent.
Well, you know what? That's fine.
Fair,
that means his core. That means he doesn't have a core.
He also has a metal plate covering.
Yeah, but the hole is still very clear.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Like, he used Shepard's armor to repair over the hole, but there is still a clear hole there. Oh wait, this story has the angst tag. Oh, Jesus.
Jiminy fucking. Hey, Chaos,
no, Calvin, my story has the parody and humor tags.
Max, what tags does ours have?
Fuck if I remember.
Probably parody.
I mean, I'm sure parody.
Oh no, my golem's broken. Ha ha ha. Only the zero would summon a broken golem. Wait.
Human friendship, apparently.
What?
Or humor friendship.
Oh, I thought you said human friendship.
No, I did say human friendship. I'm like, wait.
Re-engage?
What the hell does human friendship mean? That sounds like something from the fucking My Little Pony section.
Well, see, what you don't know is we've actually been telling the story of two Grimms trying to get along with humans.
Okay, so here's my problem here. Only the zero would summon a broken golem. Okay, understandable, Connor. She did still summon. They acknowledged that she summoned something, though. Right? So her spell did not fail. It just did not get the results she wanted.
This isn't the same as, like, oh, she just hired a peasant, because why would a mage summon a human?
Yeah.
Something that has absolutely no historical precedence that the kids are taught, at least.
Yeah. Whereas summoning a golem, it's like, it's a golem.
No, it's not even. Like... Here's the thing. I would not expect them to say, oh, she summoned a golem. It's, oh, she confused the spell and made a golem. Not summoned a golem.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's a very weird looking golem. I could definitely go down for, oh, she summoned it.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. By the same token, though, again, we know that making golems is a type of magic in that world. So it could even be, I could see them making fun of her. Oh, she fucked up the spell and made a golem.
Are that I could see.
That would make sense.
I gotta ask.
What?
Is Isley on hand?
Isley is not on hand. I guess I'll go back to being the random looker-upper.
Getting so lazy, Max. Maybe I should give a portion of your income to Isley.
Well, you're already giving a portion of Atin's, so...
Yes, a whole 25 cents. Let's see. Can I try this again? Okay, that's actually a fair enough question this time around.
No, yeah. There's a one-shot from 2011.
Damn it.
And the other is...
Calvin,
the other one is Eldarian.
Isley as much as you pay us. So if you want Isley to be paid, you're gonna have to pay us so we can pay Isley.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Also, I don't think we can give Isley anything less than $1 through PayPal.
Yes, that's so. I don't have any money at all. Well, then Isley's not getting any money. You're still on
Max, but I think that was a shirt idea. Sneaky, bring up the pay list.
Hold on, I'm bringing up the pay list. Isley payment list. Alright, so C8 gets 10 cents.
Right. Yeah, it was a shirt idea, wasn't it?
I don't know. Probably. We have a pay list of people who will eventually get money when we get money, and they get enough money for us to pay them money.
Yeah, so at the moment, Isley is owed 30 cents. 25 cents, which will be coming from Atin.
Indeed. How does one get on it? Well, you get on it by offering a service to us.
Why does it feel like we're starting a pyramid scheme, Sneaky?
Because that's exactly what we're doing.
You can't let them know that. That destroys the pyramid scheme.
No. See, if you tell them up front that it's a pyramid scheme, that makes them more willing to hop on it.
Of course.
Because here's the thing, right? you have an opportunity to get in on the ground floor of the pyramid scheme, which is where all the money's made.
Is that how you're gonna sell it to people?
Yeah. You get to be the person screwing someone else over instead of getting screwed over.
Yeah, alright, fair enough.
Humans are horrible people. They'll all go in for it.
Oh my god. Anyway, can I try this again? No, you can't. Okay, fine. I'm gonna go kiss the golem now. The golem looked at me. Drawing closer, blah blah blah. She brushed against the cold metallic plates around the eye, and she suppressed a shiver. It felt cold as ice. The golem let out a buzz sound, which was foreign to Luisa's ears. It sounded like, well, she had no idea. She never heard it before. Didn't matter. She was gonna do this. She said the spell and then kissed the closest piece of metal she could reach. The effect was instantaneous. She was pressing her lips against the end of the golem's uppermost head plate, feeling the cold metal against her much warmer lips, ear-grating shriek, which, if she had been familiar with modern electronics, this is a cop-out author, would have sounded like an electronic screech.
You know, author, you still could have said it was a weird screech.
Yeah.
A screech is a screech, good sir.
The sound of metal ripping. Or some shit like that, you know? She let go of the golem. Blah blah blah, words. They started writhing on the ground, limbs jerking and gripping randomly as ruins etched themselves onto the intact plating on the upper left part of the torso. Its eyes moved rapidly as it emitted an array of inhuman noises, none of which seemed to be close to words, and then it just shut down. Let's see, so a bastardized version of how a computer starts up,
which would
going
have
into
nothing
safe
to do
mode.
with how the Geth would start. Literally.
Yeah.
First of all, it's literally alien hardware.
Timestamp 0021A241D5747A01.
No,
timestamp.
Sneaky, never mind the timestamp. Why does this thing have a safe mode?
Yeah.
Why does it know to use safe mode?
How
does it use safe mode?
That's fair enough.
Guys, we're only going to turn on half our function.
Are you sure you want to do that? Yeah. Are you going to remember how to, turn the other half back on? Yeah, totally. How do I do that? Like... what the fuck?
Just kind of looks about. I should remember that. 5 minutes later. You forgot, didn't you? Shut up.
Just like... this is someone who doesn't understand computers, apparently.
Yes.
Or fucking grammar.
Because, like, when you boot into safe mode, it's not even half the functionality yet. It's like 75% of your computer's functionality is just turned off.
I'm aware. Safe mode is there so you can go in and say, do I have a virus? Yes? No.
No, safe mode is, do I have a virus? Are drivers fucked up? Am I missing drivers? Are these drivers fucking these drivers up?
Safe mode is literally a tiny little black box, basically, of your computer's main files that everything that is needed for the computer to turn on and make it to the desktop. That's what safe mode is.
Yeah, so like, again, like, would you like to enable safe mode? Yes, congratulations. Your LED eye blinks, and that's it. Like,
I can understand safe mode, like, what they're trying to do here is, like, okay, safe mode is on. Okay, we're gonna review all data now. Oh, we've detected a hacking attempt. Okay, well, the thing is that corruptive influence of the branding, which is canon, is actually probably even more effective on electronics, because with organics, especially humans, you would have to condition them over time to think more one way or the other. Whereas electronics, you literally just, remove consensus, replace with Louise.
An entire mission, Legion's entire loyalty mission is go brainwash my friend.
In all honesty, like, either it's going to work without, nerve endings being lit on fire, or it's not going to work and she just has a golem that she can't really talk with until it figures out how their language works.
Oh my god, what the shit is this? Okay, so apparently it's playing a video log of Legion's point of view. They're being kissed. Territory node 1397. Foreign code detected. Huh? Tertiary, whatever. Foreign code detected within primary data loop. That is attempting elimination of foreign code. Cleaning data. Cleaning. Alert! Cleanup procedure failed. Retrying. No, like...
Okay, no, hold on. That is pretty much how most... it's like...
Okay, yeah, but no, the problem is this isn't a hacking attempt. This isn't a hacking attempt, though. This is literally a, like there isn't foreign code to detect. How the rune would work, in terms of translating it into an electronic manner, it would be straight up just going into, like, the Windows file, changing the administrator to Luis, and then just...
And changing the default language.
Yeah.
Like it would basically be a hot patch.
Like, at most, a computer, any form of computer, could detect a change like that as in, default settings changed or some shit. That's it.
Yeah, maybe
I'm sorry, all I
we
can think of now, just hot patch. Taylor is your owner.exe.
I just honestly, the most we should get here is a pop-up window saying default settings have been changed, revert or keep.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't even have the option of reverting it.
No, well, no, exactly.
It would have been changed. Suck it.
Like,
quarantine failure. System malfunctions detected. Oh my god. Scheduling program restoration from archival copy. Initiating emergency shutdown. Attempting to contact archives for restoration. No connection found. Building consensus. Consensus achieved. New objectives. Determine hacking attempt. Analyze arrival mode. Re-establish connection with primary Geth collective. Eliminate foreign code. Rebooting from safe mode.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, you're booting back up.
You're booting back up with all that foreign data?
You remember how to boot out of safe mode, huh? Fucking hate that. I hate that so much. Why would an AI use safe mode on itself? Why?
I don't know, man.
What use would an AI have for safe mode? What the
I mean, maybe.
I feel like we
could have. I feel around on it. I don't know.
I feel like we could have had some interesting, like, comedy moments in Halo now, because I was like, hang on, I'm gonna have to reboot into safe mode. Isn't that a bad idea?
Hold on, Cortana, I'm rebooting you into safe mode.
Wait, no, John, don't. Like.
Oh, by the way, well, I mean, here's the thing, right? Technically, you could just do what Halsey did, which is be a massive asshole. Reboot because they did have a kind of a safe mode where the administrators could go in and make changes.
Yes.
But what Halsey did was she actually found a way around the lifespan problem of AI, she would just go in and delete chunks of their memory.
Yeah, I'm
and
sorry.
then tell them not to remember that.
I'm sorry. How did no one figure that out before? That seems like a really obvious solution. Like, the problem is degradation of data.
Let's be xenophobic. It's really in this year. Let's find a nasty, slimy, ugly alien to fear. There's no more cutesy stories about E.T. phoning home. Let's learn to love our neighbors like the Christians learned in Rome.
Reverse engineer
we know we ought to hate them. They're different, you see.
This is humanity.
We've seen they're mean and ugly on movies and TV. The folks that ought to know have told us how it's got to be.
We're actually aware of it because there's a point in Halo 4
Nothing personal, kid.
Or not the campaign, during the side story where Halsey uses her override on the Infinity's AI, like the fifth generation, only which is based on Halsey's architecture. So the exploit's still there. They just know about it and they had a safety measure. So after like 10 minutes, he's like, listen here, bitch.
Right.
How much worse does this get?
Probably even worse, because they're probably now going to have Legion be like, lol, I can't be mind controlled, JK? Technical difficulty, yeah. It was quite safe to say things hadn't gone according to plan, blah blah, contract caused it to collapse, blah blah, it died, well it was her familiar, so she just dragged it away. It was really heavy, they taunted her even more than usual. Then she kicked it, turns out you shouldn't kick metal. And blah blah blah, she's hopping around in pain. Blah 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 blah. Maybe she should have talked to someone instead. Blah blah blah. Wall of text. Wall of text. Wall of text. Wall of text. She's glaring at things.
Alright, Calvin.
Wall of text. Wall of text. Wall of text. The golem turns back on. You stupid piece of junk. Blah blah. I'll kick you again if you weren't made of metal. Blah blah. How Genki and common Tristanian noble dialect, we recognize your language. We do not see how this platform has offended you, yet you appear upset. Why?
Shouldn't the first question be, we do not know why we recognize this platform does not know why it recognizes your bullshit.
No. See, the thing is, like I said, okay, maybe they're actually not going to be stupid about this. Despite all the what's going on in safe mode, question mark. They might actually not be stupid about this because, as we said earlier, the room would straight up just be like, default language, X. Like, and the computer, no matter how smart the AI, if its language is X and it doesn't detect the change, then it would never know that its language has ever been anything but X.
Yeah, well, like, at the most, it'll be like, oh yeah, I learned a new language thanks to you. Like, master, like, that's it. It should literally just be, oh, I learned a new language so I could communicate with my new master. That's it.
There would be no alarm bells, because it'd be like, oh yes, this language, oh yes, of course, it's in my database already. I always knew this language. So, it's just... So we'll see how they work this out. She stared at it. It's talking. What is this? Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Does the world hate her? Angst, 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 angst. Wall of text. Angst, angst, angst. This creature is her familiar. You appear to be expressing behavior which matches our current data on common behavior of subject 0. We conclude that do not call me that, she ground out. Even her familiar is calling her Zero. My name is Luis Leblanc de Valerie, not Luis
blah,
the Zero.
Blah, 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 blah.
French, French, French. Hon, 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 baguette.
What the fuck?
Are you really surprised, Max?
Well, look, Max, on the bright side is I'm never going to get banned from Twitch from being racist towards the French. I'm not wrong. Because remember, reading. The French are white. Can't be racist towards white people.
Just keep reading.
Stop.
Her familiar was calling her Zero because that was the only moniker it had heard. Maybe it just did know better. Acknowledged. Blah, blah, blah. Wall of text. It's walking around now. Wall of text. 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 Are you going to attack me? Golem didn't seem bothered by the big hole in its torso. Maybe she should send spells at it. If she'd known more, perhaps she would have been less worried. The Geth relied on shields, and blah blah blah. We will fight for continued existence. Do you intend physical harm upon us? Blah 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 blah. Basically, it was answering her question of, I'll only attack you if you attack me. She had no intention of starting a war with her familiar. So she lowered her wand. Why was she so afraid of it anyway? It was just a golem with a creepy voice. Why is she so afraid of this anyway? It's just an animated golem with a creepy voice and sentience. Just. What's so creepy about that? Alright, since you're familiar now, we're going to lay down ground rules, and then the golem beat her to the punch. What is a familiar? Everyone knew what a familiar was. It's literally a golem. It is literally a golem. In your eyes, it is literally animated metal. I am fairly certain you can forgive it for not knowing what a familiar is.
Nah.
Then again, her familiar was out of the ordinary, so perhaps she should have expected this. Like, I appreciate the author, like, pointing out the common sense, but I don't understand why he's having her, like, overreact to the first thing he says, and then be like, why am I overreacting to this? It's just a golem. This is like the third time, fourth time that this has been done now, in the span of, like, a couple dozen paragraphs.
Yeah.
Like, the first time I could get the overreaction, because you're like, oh, it's talking to me. Oh, well, how does it not know blank? Okay, you overreacted. And then it does something else. And then you completely forget the justification you just made seconds ago to overreact again to whatever it does now. It's only sentient, nothing wrong here. Don't take that out of context, C8.
Listen here, if I choose to abuse a sentient being, that's my right as an American.
Those runes on your chest. Hey, look at the runes. Yes, those runes. They mark you as my familiar. That means you're my servant and my companion. You do whatever I say when I say it. That seemed to be a clear enough explanation. Her familiar did not agree. Huh? Yeah, basically. Her familiar did not agree. This unit is not a slave. We are not obligated to obey your commands. Wow, this is super embarrassing. She was getting off topic here. She was rather certain the creature's name was Geth. It never said Geth before.
Nope.
Anyway. Anyway, so the rules, no waking me up in the middle of the night, no embarrassing me, don't break my things, don't snore, don't disrespect me. Before she is able to start up again, the Geth voiced a comment of its own. Geth do not snore. Louise hadn't been expecting the comment, but she supposed it wasn't a bad one, because assuming her familiar wasn't wrong, at least she would be kept awake. It's a golem, animated metal, golem, don't snore, we don't snore. Well, I guess maybe you're right. Ugh! Why would you even think animated metal would snore?
Well, why wouldn't you think that?
Whoever designed it was a real dick.
Exactly.
Did you make the robot snore on purpose? Yes.
Why?
'Cause fuck.
Yes. Exactly.
Let's be real here. It wouldn't even be that. It'd be I was bored and wondered if I could. Let's be honest.
Let's see. Blah blah. A fact that would save her quite a bit of ridicule. Blah blah blah. She was blah 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 blah. She lost her train of thought. Oh well, can't be helped. Blah blah blah. Inform her familiar about other things. You'll sleep there. She points towards the pile of hay. Golem, animated metal, golem. Hey, you're gonna sleep over here. She has a classmate whose specialty is summoning golems.
Wait, does she?
Yes, Gucci.
That's right. I forgot. He summons bronze.
His family is literally known for summoning golems to do battle with.
I forgot about that.
So what's your guys' deal? We summon golems. Can you do anything else? I can summon a 50-foot tall thing made of iron. What else do I need?
Basically.
What more do you want from me?
It's just...
I can summon a Gundam that doesn't have lasers. What more do you want from me?
A Gundam with lasers. But it's just like...
Well, fuck you, eh?
You gonna sleep over here. Geth, don't sleep. Despite the absurdity of the words themselves. It had to be joking. Everything slept. No? Golems do not sleep. They just deactivate. There is a distinct, quantifiable difference.
All right, you know what, Sneaky? We need to. We're gonna steal this in the opposite direction.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for our when we eventually get to the crossover in like 10 years.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Pavel speak up. So where am I supposed to sleep? Golems don't sleep. Why would you need that?
Yeah, well, golems don't sleep. Why would you need that? Grumble, grumble, grumble. Rocks grinding sound.
No, just pulls the helmet up just enough that you can see like
angry boulder noises
on his neck.
Angry boulder noises intensify.
He does the rock form thing. Okay, Jesus, I'll get you a bed.
Form of a giant rock.
So here's the real question. If Havel was on a Saturday morning cartoon show, what would his theme be?
I don't know. The Doomslayer song, but played on a lute.
Oh my god, see if that exists. Has someone done that yet?
Well, Hovel with the Doomslayer song, or
no, the Doomslayer song on a loop.
Oh, most assuredly, someone's put it on a loop somewhere.
By the way, I'm assuming that Sneaky said loot, not loot.
Yes, loot.
Okay, good.
Guitar cover, metal cover, metal cover, metal cover, guitar cover, metal cover, metal cover.
Why do you need a metal cover of the songs from Doom?
Metal cover, string guitar cover. That's about as close as we're gonna get.
Let's hear it.
Nope. He said string guitar, but he means metal.
Okay.
That's like me going, hey guys, this is
Hang
a
on.
harp.
Acoustic guitar cover, here we go.
I was about to say, just look for acoustic.
I mean, that's not terrible.
Alright, yeah, no, I can roll with that. There, Max, there's Howell's theme.
It wasn't terrible. Surprising.
That's what he sets his that's what he sets his ambient genjutsu to as default now.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, just, my headset just went super quiet.
Alright, let us continue. Even golems slept, as their controllers had to go to sleep at some point. The whole idea that the creature didn't sleep was nonsense. She supposed that's another thing on her not to-do list. Her familiar couldn't go around spouting nonsense, or everyone would think Louise was crazy. Alright, you will sleep here. This unit does not sleep. Alright, don't say nonsense like that. What?
I don't think the author realizes that, like, okay, yeah, controllers had to rest sooner or later, but we know that golems can be pre-programmed in a similar fashion to a computer, or you can just disperse it.
Yeah.
Because you're tired and want to recover whatever counts for magic power in that universe, and you need to sleep. You'll just summon it back the next morning.
Honestly, I still miss the Luis is a Necron god. That was a great fic. I'm so happy that it got completed.
Someone completed a Filmia of Zero crossover?
The one... When was she... You never told me about a Necron one. You told me about the one where she was a Death Knight.
Oh, yeah, no, there was a completed fic in which she summons a high priest Necron, and it goes, well, since you summoned me, clearly you're a Suthner, and then proceeds to do a ritual that turns Luis by the end of the story into a Suthner.
I want to see that.
It was actually really good. Yeah, I'll search for it after this is over. It unfortunately might be covered up right now because of the fanfiction.net broke their favorites display on author pages, and you can only display up to 500 of your most recently favorited stories. So it might not be on there anymore.
Ah.
Because I read that story like 4 years ago. Statistically speaking, organics react hostilities towards Geth. The odds of embarrassment are low.
Do you want to try that sentence again, Sneaky?
No, not really. Semi-monotone, she's huffing and puffing. She was quick to point out to her irritating familiar that if it wasn't for the fact that going around with no familiar at all would be even more embarrassing, then she would just lock it inside her room. At least that way it wouldn't cause that much of a mess. Of course, that wasn't an option anymore. Here, clean these by tomorrow. End quotes, semicolon. Author, I want to stab you. Just want to let you know that. Fucking semicolon. Really? She gave the clothes pile to the familiar, ignoring its earlier protest. It was already quite late, and whatever, blah blah. Clearly, it was the familiar's fault for telling her it did not sleep. Yes, we are not servants. We self-determinate. Blah blah. The familiar
that there sounds like liberal talk. We ain't having none of that. And how genius.
She wasn't sure what self-determinate means. Although she was a noble, she definitely was in a dictionary. Maybe her familiar was just stupid or wasn't obeying her. You're for my familiar. Do as I say or I'll whip you.
It's made of metal.
This is why you shouldn't write for a fandom that your only knowledge comes from mostly crossovers.
Like, ignoring the fact that Louise wouldn't do that.
No, in canon, would. She does. But the problem is in canon, she's assuming she's going to summon a dog or etc.
Yeah, right. Like, absolute best, she gets a dragon, absolute worst, well, at least she got something.
Like, she wasn't expecting to summon a human, which, fair enough, but some of her reactions of, I'm gonna chain you up and whip you and shit like that makes it a little bit like, what the fuck, girl?
Poor writing for tsunderes, usually.
Probably, yeah. But anyway, point B is that like, Luis isn't stupid. Like, every single fanfiction in existence always makes sure to touch on the canon part about how she's really good with theoretics. And top of the class with theoretics. And she's managed to get through 2 years of magic school on just theoretics alone. Like,
it's like
she's not dumb.
Boot camp by acing. It's like getting boot camp by acing every written exam.
Yes, actually. Like, yes, that's exactly what it is, yes.
So, it's just,
Like, the generals go, like, look, she still can't run a 5-minute mile, but that's the most amazing artillery barrage column I've ever seen. Literally perfect.
We do not experience physical pain. Attempts at torture are inefficient. Okay, so apparently it wasn't enough. Her familiar was insane.
What?
It is a sentient golem made of metal, according to your point of view. You just threatened to whip it with leather. It going, attempts to torture me is inefficient. I don't feel pain because I'm made of metal. How is that crazy?
Like, here's the thing, right? Like, at least if it went... this is...
Okay, better question. not even like, here's Louise's thought process. Well, it's a golem, and golems don't have a need to feel pain, so this wouldn't work.
Like a better threat would be like, I'll cut off your source of magic or some shit.
Yeah, no, just straight up like, I'll remove your core or something.
She should have seen that one coming, given the hole in its torso. She would probably be dead if she had a hole like that, but it wasn't bothered by it. However, to prevent unnecessary hostilities, we shall comply with your instructions. It was very effective at putting an end to the issue. Whilst it made it seem like the Geth had agreed to her orders because it didn't want to argue rather than any desire to do what she said, it did at least actually do what she said. Assume it wasn't going to lie to her. And then Luis went to bed because this day was super strange, but at least today was over. Like, this actually had an actually decent case of being okay, and then the author was like, nope, man, I gotta hug these rails of canon so hard that I become the third rail.
In a way that doesn't even make sense.
Like a third rail.
Yeah.
Alright, so we covered Familiar of Zero. Okay. So, how do you guys feel about a Dungeons and Dragons Wormcross?
Oh. This
like, that's
won't be stupid.
Bad
Let's
idea.
fucking hear it.
The devil you know.
Hey, you leave the Phantom Menace out of this.
Take one paranoid munchkin D&D player and stick him into an unoptimized roleplay-based character body.
Oh, no, fuck this. No,
Throw him
God.
into an Illuminati wannabe run Death World at level 1, stir well, and then sit back and watch the show. Given a choice, I'll side with the chaotic neutral villains over lawful stupid every single day. Thank you very much. Worm D&D 5 edition Warlock self-insert.
Boy, this sounds like exactly the kind of player I would tell to get the fuck off my table.
More or less, yeah.
Lawful stupid. Fuck off.
Infernal 1.1, aka getting my smoky bear on. Looking up at a forest shrouded in the night form where I was uncomfortably lay, I decided that this was probably going to be one of those dreams. And by those dreams, I of course meant the vivid ones that somehow stick with you for the rest of your life for being so memorable. I could still remember a particular childhood memory of a nightmare from when I was 10 years old. It involved a pair of large black dogs, grim-like, chasing me about my neighborhood as I moon-hopped out of the way of their lunges at just the right time.
Moon-hopped?
Yes, he moon-hopped. With his moon shoes!
What is a moon hop?
I just told you, when you hop with your moon shoes.
Get the fuck out.
Remember your moon shoes?
No, I remember moon shoes. I'm with that and get the fuck out.
Thank you, Matt. 1 second.
No seconds. Blah 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 blah. Not fun at all, no sirree, Bob. Glancing at my truly Slenderman worthy forest surrounding me on all sides, space, I decided that this would definitely be one of those dreams. Right now, cold sweat, blah blah blah, heave myself off the ground, blah blah, leaves and dirt, there's a backpack on my shoulders. My teeth are chittering with the cold wind, and I'm rubbing my arms through the fabric which I was wearing. I scratched my arms and torso with a grimace. The fabric was definitely not cotton. Blah, 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 blah. I glanced at myself. I was wearing a stiffened, flexible breastplate with shoulder pads. I'm wearing leather? Wait, I'm wearing very familiar leather articles. I pinched my cheek once, blinking furiously. No effect. I quelled my rising sense of panic. Every lucid dream I've ever had, I've woken myself up from with blinking 3 times in succession, which means I wasn't in a dream. My throat felt dry. I glanced about for creatures. After all, I was alone in the middle of a dark forest. This is what horror movies are made out of. Turning in place, listening, blah, blah, blah. Ah, my god, I have horns and a tail. The pair of horns, which I noticed when running a trembling hand through my hair, were maybe an inch thick each with a hard, rigid surface. And blah, 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 they ran back across my head, pressed hard against my scalp until they curled up at the ends. The tail made itself known by stressing and discovered my new horns. I estimated it was 4 feet long. The tail was about as thick as the horns, with a little arrowhead-shaped tip like a cartoon devil. The tail itself revealed itself by curiously whipping about and curling around my leg in response to my tenseness and stress. Naturally, this made things worse. I found I could control the damn thing, but it was basically an entirely new limb which I had 0 muscle memory of. Blah blah blah, everything is dark, blah blah, and then I could suddenly see in the darkness. Oh, I have dark vision! Oh my god, I see about 60 feet with dark vision. Oh no, I recognize this character. This is the character that I played D&D with.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Oh my god, I was a tiefling, and not just any tiefling. I was wearing the body of the adventurer character I made for the D&D 5e campaign, the urchin warlock who I built around role-playing instead of ultimate power. Lucius Nemeniana, otherwise known as Creed, didn't even have proficiency in Arcana in a campaign where I was the only dedicated spellcaster. So yeah. To be fair to Lucius, however, I did roll his ability scores, which were totally great and amazing and really high. And I have an 18 out of 20 charisma.
Oh, well, whoop-de-fuck can do for you.
And I abruptly experienced what it must be like to taste purple for the first time, as a flash of information appeared in my mind, displaying statistics. Name, Lucius Nemia, aka Creed, self-insert. Age, 21, 19 physically. Class 1 Warlock. Background, urchin, race, tiefling, alignment, chaotic good, XP 0, armor class 13 plus 1 from armor. Jesus Christ, my dude. Hit points, 9. Hit die, 1d8.
They're listing their entire character sheet.
Yes.
It's stupid.
Yep.
By the way, fuck off. You're saying that you're chaotic good, but you're gonna go with the chaotic neutral villains, most of whom aren't actually chaotic neutral, but pretty much chaotic evil.
Uh-huh.
Like, I think the only villain group that you could describe as chaotic neutral, and this is being charitable, mind you, would be the Outsiders.
No, Uber Elite.
Okay. That's fair.
Also, the Outsiders?
Undersiders, whatever.
Yeah, I guess you could call them chaotic neutral, that's fair.
Because they aren't good. they very, very decidedly commit crimes.
Fair enough. First of all, the self-insert title was clearly a little too on the nose, giving me a pre-motions of insert Jackie Chan's voice here. Bad day ahead. Clearly, I had been robbed. Clearly, after having read so many stories of my current situation, I could only conclude that the random omnipotent being in question put me into a story. And if that asshole was me, putting me into a story, that could mean every effort I had a 5% chance of ending horribly, even if I didn't plan, if I didn't just plain fail because of a bad metaphysical roll and no real incompetence on my own part. Okay, well that's just bad writing in general. Like, I am currently writing a worm story in which I am rolling for a decent majority of it, when the success is not guaranteed. Like for taking wounds, after taking a wild shot, I rolled, does it hit? Yes. Where does it hit? It hits here. Okay, now I have to roll with this. Huh, pun intended. Point being, if you're gonna have your character fail and just be like, oh, I rolled a 1, oh, he just fails, instead of just being like, oh, you know, XYZ happened, so therefore I failed.
That was why I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was one of the Star Wars games. Like, there was like, listen, critical failure doesn't always mean you don't succeed in the task you're doing. It's like, look, your character's a level 5 with like plus 15 to computers. They're going to open the door, but maybe they missed the alarm.
Well, or maybe whatever they did induced a feedback loop and short-circuited the panel they were on, or something.
So they got electrocuted. Like, there are many, many ways to do critical failures without the person does not succeed.
Yeah. So you're just bad at
that's
writing.
Part of what being a good DM is.
Yeah.
Is looking at it and going, well, it doesn't make sense for my character, my friend who is a level 30, I don't know why I said, a level 20 ranger to not track the dragon.
Yeah, exactly.
Just, doesn't do it quietly.
Or, a disadvantage to any future stealth attempts. Or, be a good DM is the point being.
Yeah.
I could be a generous and lenient DM, or running high magic campaigns, or blah blah blah, ridiculous munchkin, blah blah. But I was bad at estimating exactly how lethal an encounter a party could take. And as I tend to play my enemies as not mindless bags of it. As not mindless meatbags of XP, but as intelligent killing machines that want to win just as much as the player, which of course meant my encounters tend to run with a little more implicit threat than what you normally expect for their CR. Well, again, that's just another bad sign of DMing again. Like, current campaign I'm running, which is a 5e campaign, the DM actually underestimates us quite often. Like, he keeps throwing ridiculously powerful monsters at us that are like, 10 out of our CR range, and we keep killing them.
No, you're wrong. Like, if they're 10 out of your CR range, you shouldn't win. Like, maybe 5. But like,
yeah, no, obviously I'm exaggerating. Like, the most recent boss we fought was like a CR 16, and we're all level 9.
No, that actually comes out slightly under favoring the CR 16, specifically when you factor in the action economy.
That's true. That's fair enough. 5e is a little bit more favoring the players than 3.5.
Yeah. So while I do agree he's underestimating you,
But anyway, point being is that he is actually a good DM in how he plays the encounters. Is like, goblins are dumb, and they'll attack, whoever's weak or closest to them. Whoever they think looks weak, and or the closest person to them. So wolves go for people who are bleeding. Stuff like that. Not like, alright, so this person's the mage, so I'm gonna have all the creatures target this person first, like some frickin' DMs I know did.
So, like, if there's like a book on behaviors, he's literally just reading it from the book and how they would actually act.
Yeah.
In the situation.
Well, that's the thing. There's no such thing as a book of behavior. Like, that's actually one of the problems and one of the things that sets apart a good DM from a bad DM. There is no book of behaviors that tells you, like, how it goes. Like, let's say you have a group of bandits. That group of bandits should fight a party entirely differently from how, say, a group of goblins does. The group of bandits should go, that one with the staff looks like a caster. Get him.
Yeah.
And the goblins should go, well, that one looks like a weak bitch because he's got a stick. And that dude's got armor. Get him.
Or like a fight we recently did in a campaign. The bandits set off a trap. Like, half of them didn't attack, and so we didn't see them. Because, we didn't roll high on our perception. And so then we were surprised when they flanked us. Instead of just running out and attacking all together as a mob. It's like maybe a goblins or wolves would do. Whatever. Point being, this person's a bad DM. And also doesn't know how to write. My encounters are very lethal, blah blah. I wasn't afraid of having my enemy NPCs run away to kill you a different day. Blah blah. Blah blah blah. I almost killed my whole party. Blah blah blah. D&D story. Blah 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 blah. D&D story. D&D story. D&D story. D&D story. I was level 1. I was all alone, a squishy spellcaster. I was level 1 with no party. I'm gonna die. I figured I probably wasn't an asshole enough to write myself as a level 1 into the universe equal of worst of Warhammer 40k Grimdarkness. But beyond that, everything else was fair game. As a DM, I knew that I was sending myself into such a situation that I, as the insert, would be, unless forced otherwise, playing things carefully and slow, stacking the deck immensely to prevent as much uncertainty as I could. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. I hate memory loss plots and blah blah, rant, joke, rant, lacking char, blah blah blah, D&D rant, D&D rant, D&D rant, D&D rant, D&D rant, D&D rant, contemplations on how to min-max, contemplations on how to min-max, do D&D rules apply here, or do real-world physics apply? Wait. Falling damage would obliterate my level 1 ass if I fail to check at the wrong moment. I mean, it's 1d6, so you would have to take, let's see, past 10 feet of falling, you start taking 1d6 of damage. So you would have to be 11 to...
Well, no, it's what, a d6 for every 5 feet?
10 feet.
10 feet, yeah. So you have to fall, that's the thing, you have to fall more than 10 feet. Also, base health for warlocks is what, D10?
No, D8 plus whatever the con save. But yeah, no, right now he would need to fall off of a 40-foot tree or higher, and then roll max damage on all of the damage from falling to die.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, do I have magic? I'm not gonna try pronouncing that. Okay, my pants are clean, my backpack's clean, my shirt's clean. Now I can clean people to death. Wait, could I do that? I wouldn't call it impossible. It was magic. Being a charisma-based caster and a warlock in particular was handy for me. I don't have to worry about the math. I'd decide that it would happen, and then it would. Blah blah, blah blah, warlock stuff. Blah blah, blah 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 blah, Eldritch Blast, blah blah. None of the cantrips I knew would help me out of this forest. Guidance would be a dream right now, so I have to go search for moss. Blah blah, walking through the forest, time skip. Walking through the forest. I don't know where I am. Walking through the forest. I'm really stressed right now. I then crouched down and started creeping through, and then the grace of me doing so surprised me. Everything I did was muffled, and not even my shirt ruffled. Was this the power of a high stealth check?
Oh, shut up, you lazy shitbag writer!
That said, I got sick of searching for what I'm probably never gonna find. So I just gave it up as a lost cause. Time skip again. Blah, 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 blah. I have stuff in my bag. Blah, blah. I tried climbing the tree, but the branch broke. I spit curses at the forest ancestry. I groaned and rubbed my ass, blah blah. Quick check of my character sheet revealed I hadn't lost hit points, but it probably wasn't near a thing. Blah 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 blah.
I looked at my character sheet to look at my health. Fuck off.
Blah blah blah. Maybe I should climb the tree again, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I can use magic to climb the tree.
Maybe you could just take your time and take 20. Stupid fucking shit.
No, remember, take 20 is no longer a thing in 5e.
Oh, they got rid of take 20?
Yeah, for some reason.
What the hell? Why?
I don't know. Probably because it was extraneous. Well, is that what the correct word usage is? Extraneous.
I hope that for 5.5 they go, okay, we didn't dumb this down as much as 4, but we might have dumbed it down a little too much.
So dumb. No, they removed that. Wait, you're telling me I can't just take my time?
I mean, to be fair, it's not like it's a difficult rule to put back in.
Well, no, it's not. But there is also the passive stat rule, which is basically 10 plus whatever your bonus is, it equals your passive with a skill.
Uh-huh.
And it was explained as the difference between like a passive perception versus active perception is that like passive perception is you just, noticing things in a room.
Right.
Whereas like an active perception check would be like, ah yes, the book I'm looking for is right there.
Right.
But still, it's just it doesn't take the place of I'm going to carefully take my time and do this bit by bit so I can succeed on it.
Yeah. I mean, and like I said, it's not like it's hard to put back in. Just let your players take 20 like they always. For those who aren't familiar, take 20 is where you go in D&D and say, I'm going to take 20 attempts. Basically, I'm going to assume that I fail 20 times and do this real slow.
Yeah, more or less. And also it takes like 30 minutes to do it.
Yeah.
I can smell blah 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 by licking the air. Blah blah blah. I cast clean on my finger to remove the germs, and then licked it and held it high. I don't think germs are going to be a problem for you, my dude. And then I turned towards the direction of the wind. I closed my eyes to shut out the high amount of information being taken in by my vision, and then diverted my brain's processing capacity to focus on touch.
Boy, all this sounds like stuff a warlock can't fucking do.
Also, I diverted my brain's processing capacity to touch.
First of all, what does a dumb sentence like that even mean?
I'm assuming they think that a brain works exactly like a computer, and that by just disabling sight, you can make touch high priority, and free up some CPU and RAM.
Clearly.
That's not how brains work. Each part of your brain's got a little specific section in it that does little different things, my dude. It's basically a bunch of network processors together. So, because you aren't using your sight processor anymore doesn't mean you suddenly get more resources to devote towards touch. It means you're not using your sight anymore. I mean, certainly you can probably focus more on what your touch is telling you. Wouldn't disagree there.
But that's as far as it goes.
But I'm definitely going to call you a dumbass for going, I can just divert my processing capacity to touch from sight. That's, no. After a minute, I didn't seem to be getting anything, blah, 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 blah.
That's not how that works. That's why you're getting it, bitch.
Blah, blah, blah. Smells tickling my nose. Salt. I smell the ocean. And gasoline. Which meant civilization. I was a lone tiefling in a judgmental, noisy world. At level 2, I could probably take the sky itself. Blah, 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 blah. Regardless, I couldn't survive out here. Blah, civilization with shutter, asterisk, guns everywhere. I see their anti-gun. Okay. Fucking bitch.
I mean, to be fair, a warlock can't really do much against the power of gun.
Okay, sure. But warlocks can't do much against the power of arrow either. Or sword.
I mean, but like, leather armor, I'm assuming that's what that idiot's wearing, has a chance to stop those things.
Hey, well, if the caliber's low enough, so could bullets be stopped.
You would need some real thick leather to stop a bullet, though, Sneaky.
Depends on what's being used, but, you know, magic and shit, too.
I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying, like, oh, look at me, I'm wearing full plate armor. Look, unless they're shooting like a 22, you're gonna die.
Actually, surprisingly, knight plate armor can withstand up to 5.56. Obviously not armor piercing, but 45.
5.56 fired from a what though?
Rifle.
Really?
Yeah, no, they did 12 gauge, 8 gauge slug. They did 45 9mm. They did and then 5.56 fired from a hunting rifle. And it all dinged off. I mean, don't get me wrong. it compressed the metal. It heavily dented the metal.
Right.
But then, you probably would have some broken bones. You would definitely be taking concussion damage.
Yeah.
Especially if it hit you in the head. But
okay, just as long as we're clear there.
Yeah. No, they did not shoot an AK at it. They did not use armor-piercing rounds.
Oh, good. It's 9 o'clock.
Is it now? Damn.
Yes.
That went fast.
It went fast because we were completely focused on other stuff.
We're nearly done too. Excellent. I got outside. Blah blah blah. I'm nearing the city now. Congratulations, you escaped the woods and found civilization. Plus 75 XP. Oh wow, I have goals and checkpoints? Nice. Heckin' nice. Blah blah blah. 21st century city. Blah 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 blah. I'm squinting harder. Oh look, there's an oil rig. Blah blah. Wait. Why is there an oil rig in this bay? Why is it here? I shook my head. That's impossible. It couldn't be the place I think I'm in.
No, there's just an oil rig in the middle of the bay, because, it's actually Pearl Harbor.
AN, we'll just see where this goes. I'm gonna have a second chapter at some point written. Hello, haven't done much writing, but I'm alive.
Just skip the stupid note. No one cares.
Alright, well, that wraps it up for tonight then. Hope you all had as fun as I did.
Kill me. Kill me. That's a nice background.
Yeah, thank you. Not much else to say. I'm probably going to try and get a little bit better about doing more gaming streams while I'm looking for work. 7 p.m. is going to be the normal time again. So, that about wraps it up. See you guys Friday, because there's always more and it always gets worse.